Okay, here we are with take 6. So now we're on section 6, assignment 6, and this is multiplication and division of equations. So as we talked about yesterday, we discussed that when we're doing one-step and two-step equations that we have to do the inverse operations to solve for the variable, and we need to isolate that variable to get the appropriate answer. So let's look at number 1, and number 1 is negative 6y equals negative 84. So since we have a number and a variable, we know that's multiplication. So the opposite would be to divide. So we're going to divide by negative 6 on both sides, because remember, as we work algebraic equations, we need whatever we do on one side, we must do on the other side. So we have 6 divided by negative 6 divided by negative 6 gives us y, because it's 1. And then we have negative 6 going to 84. So 6 going to 8 one time with 2 left over. Then we have 6 goes into 24 4 times, which gives us a y of positive 14. So we said the opposite of multiplication is division, and then the opposite of addition is subtraction. So just want to put those up there just to keep those there. So now we're looking at number 2, and on number 2 we have a fraction bar. Well, another word for fraction is division, because it's a part over a whole, which is division. So what we'll need to do is multiply by that fraction, and we're going to do the opposite and the inverse operation. So, and whatever we do on one side, once again, we do on the other side. So if we multiply by 8/7 on the left side, we must do that on the right side as well. All right, 8 times 8 is 56. 7 times 8 is 56. So those cancel out, which gives you a 1, and that leaves you with just a t as the variable. Next we have 49 times 8, which gives us 392. And we all know when we have a whole number, to make it a fraction, we can just place a 1 under it. So now we have 1 times 7, which gives us 7. So now we can divide 7 into 92, and we get 56. So t equals 56. Once again, with one-step equations, you are going to isolate the variable. So to isolate the variable, you want to do the opposite of whatever that transaction is. So here was multiplication, this one was division, so we multiply by inverse operation. All right, so that's number 1 and 2. So that just kind of gives us some practice at that. The next one we have, we can look at number 4. And on number 4, we have negative, let me bring my paper up. Negative 136 equals negative 17k. So on this side is multiplication. You have negative 17k. So a number and a variable is multiplication. So we're going to divide. If we divide by 17, negative 17 on this side, we need to divide by negative 17 on this side. 17 goes into 17, leaves you just with a k. 17 goes into 136. And we can just use our calculator or our phone to get that answer. Which gives us 8. So k equals 8. All right, so we knocked out a couple of sample problems there. And one other one that looks a little different, I try to do as many different kinds that are on a page, so that way you have sample problems. You have negative 15 equals W over negative 12. That's number 11. So we have W over negative 12, which is a division. So we're going to multiply by 12 on this side. And then we're going to multiply by negative 12. So then we'll multiply by negative 12 on this side. All right. So we have 12W, or negative 12W, over negative 12, which gives us a positive W. And then on this side, we have negative 12 times negative 15, which gives us 180. So our solution is 180. W equals to 180. Now, let's go ahead and look at those lovely word problems that we all love so much. And so, again, what I like to do is annotate those problems. That makes that a little bit palatable. When I began to put numbers with them, they're not so intimidating. So our problem says Joan's age is triple the age of her daughter. So if Joan is 42, so Joan's 42, how old is her daughter? So to make that into an algebraic expression, I'm thinking we're going to have 3D. Oh no, let's take that back. So Joan's age is triple the age of her daughter. So if Joan is 42, and it says Joan's age is triple the age of her daughter. So we need to find her daughter's age. So Joan is 42, and we want to triple the daughter's age because we don't know how old the daughter is. So that's 3D. So we're going to divide by 3, divide by 3. Oh, so her daughter is 14. So basically, we've taken the algebraic expressions that we've discussed earlier this week, and now they're in word problems, and we are evaluating the word problems. So on our next one is number 14, which talks about, it says, I have a secret number 7 more than quadruple my number equals negative 5. So, excuse me, we have our negative 5. It says it's equal, and we don't know what the secret number is. So it says, if I have a number 7 more than triple my number. So my number is here, and it's 7 more than triple my number. So I would think we would write that as 3n plus 7 equals -5. And since we have an equation, we're going to solve for that equation. So we're going to take care of the constants first. And the constants are the numbers that are by themselves. So it was the +7, so we're going to do the inverse operation, was the -7. So whatever you do on one side, you must do on the other side. So -5 plus -7 is -12. Which leaves us with 3n I'm sorry. Which leaves us with 3n equals -12. And since we have a number and a variable, we're going to divide. And we're going to divide on this side. So 3 goes in 3 1 times, leaves us with just n. 3 goes in a -12 4 times, and it's a -12 because the negative times a positive is a negative. So our solution is 4 equals -4. Okay, so just to kind of summarize what we went over this today is we went over the multiplication and division of equations. We did the inverse operation of multiplication and division. So if you see multiplication, you divide. And if you see division, then you multiply. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to me on the Remind app. Look forward to hearing from you. And have a nice afternoon.